we're back and in attack. Just
clap, Austin. You were the only one that didn't.
Shitting doesn't count.
I did it.
So, apologies for our last episode. We sound like we're in a fucking tunnel.
It's alright. It wasn't all that good.
It was recorded off of a VHS tape.
We have now escaped the tunnel. Hello.
I am your host for this evening,
so this is your show now?
Thomas. Next to me is Crab.
Thomas.
And
next to Thomas is... Well, Thomas, of course.
Oh, that's crazy.
This is the Thomas Show. Welcome to our show.
We are Media Thomas.
Oh, that's great.
And we cover all things nuts.
Wait, so we just review nuts? So
Yep.
it's just a nut reviewing show now?
Yeah.
So the cashew. What's your opinions on this? What would you rank a cashew?
I like cashews, but they're expensive. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it's like a C tier easily.
I do like honey roasted peanuts, to be honest.
We're not really doing it.
No, I'm talking about what I like. What can't I tell you what I like?
No more
God
nuts.
damn it.
I've
Alright.
only ever eaten peanuts.
You don't even like
And
peanuts.
pecans. How do you know that I don't like peanuts?
You told me.
Oh, I didn't tell you.
Oh, wait, no, you told me you didn't like popcorn.
Yeah.
It's the same
Dumbass.
concept.
What?
Pecans is what you're meaning?
Yeah.
Pecan.
Pecan.
I always called it pecans.
I like the pie. Anyways, what did we do this week? Let's discuss.
Fuck.
No, we opened this one
you
up
fuck?
strong.
No, we didn't.
We opened it up strong. Why do you like Weezer?
No, we have to let that flow in.
Why do you like Weezer?
We have to let that flow in. You're just wanting to get this over with.
I want to know.
When that stop, you can't just bust your load that fast. What the fuck?
Bust?
Yeah.
Wait, don't you mean bust your nut?
Oh man, I fucked that up. Can we do a take two of
No.
that?
No.
You already fucked it up.
Nope.
You had the opportunity and you screwed
You
it
can't
up.
just fuck your butt that fast. Okay, how about that?
Look, you wouldn't steal an ass, would you?
You wouldn't
You
download
can't pirate a DVD though.
You wouldn't download an ass, would you?
You wouldn't download a cheeseburger, would you?
You wouldn't humiliate a butthole, would you?
Okay.
You sounded like John Lovitz and Little Nicky. Remember, hi, Mr. Dell. I like your cave. Does that laugh?
Fucking love that movie.
I deserve this.
We talked about this already.
Yes, we have.
Oh yeah, we talked about the fact that I had to have a Little Nicky counter for you about
We've
every
talked
day.
about it.
We've talked about that too.
Yeah.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
We're rehashing shit
Oh,
already.
the media nuts get Alzheimer's.
No, this is a clip show.
Yo.
Remember that time? Remember that time, Austin? Do you remember that time?
Why are we walking like this?
Why are we walking like this?
I don't know.
What happened There's got to be more than what we did than just last week.
I don't know. Fucking goddamn. I mean, I don't remember what I did the last hour. What did you do?
Almost there. Why are we walking like this?
I don't know.
You're referencing a goddamn movie.
Clerks, the animated series.
Dude, I haven't seen it in a long ass
Oh
time.
no, I think I do remember you. Did you used to have a lemonade stand whenever you were a kid?
I can't remember the rest of the quote.
Does this lemonade have sugar in it? Because I can't have sugar because I have diabetes. Yeah, it has sugar. Oh, I guess I can't have it then. My
Wait,
diabetes.
no, then it doesn't have it.
Oh, great! I'm glad it doesn't.
Yeah, whatever.
Dante Randall.
Playboy.
Dante Randall. Dante. Hey, whatever.
Oh yeah. Now you're starting to make me remember.
Now you're speaking
And then we
my
talked about
nuts.
old Happy Days episodes the rest of the night.
How nice.
Have you seen Happy Days?
Not in years.
Yeah, I've seen
You know,
it.
our
I
dad
wasn't
showed
a
us
big
Mork
fan.
and Mindy a lot.
I've seen Mork.
I love Mork and Mindy.
I have seen,
It's a solid show.
but I've never really seen Happy Days, to be honest. I know that Weezer did a parody of it on the Buddy Holly.
So looping back, why do you like Weezer?
We got a good segue.
We finally
now.
got a good segue. See,
Why do you like
look at my
Weezer?
phone. It says Weezer on.
It says we.
It says we. Just we. So it all started many years ago, and I'm not fucking with you. I like starting off my stories like this.
In a galaxy far, far away?
No. Okay, so it started like this. Okay, I completely just went on a whim, right? Because I was on YouTube, right? And
I already don't want to hear that.
No, okay, yeah, you wanted all day. You asked all fucking day. Now you don't want to fucking hear it. Fuck you. You're listening to this. All right. So I was on YouTube, right? And Weezer's The White Album was in my recommendations. So I was like, you know what? I'll fucking just listen to this. And I was like, this is pretty good. I like this album. It resonated with me. So I was like, okay, what else does this band have? So I heard Pinkerton. I was like,
Austin, don't leave me alone. I don't want to hear this shit.
You wanted to hear it.
No,
That was all fucking you. I'm not gonna fucking tell you the story though.
No, please continue.
All right. I heard Pinkerton. I thought.
So you heard the last good Weezer album?
Fuck you. So I've heard Pinkerton, and I thought, hey,
Also known as Alaska Weezer.
God damn it, I'm fucking
Why
depressed. I fucking hate my life. This album's great. And then next thing I knew, I fell in love with Pinkerton. And then I heard the Blue album, but I wasn't really that big on it. And then I heard the fuck else did I hear? The Green album. I thought that was alright. And then I heard everything else, and then I was like, yeah, I really only like so few records. And then I bought the newer albums. I didn't buy the most recent EPs because I thought it was a stupid fucking idea to release EPs and I have to buy like 3 things in the same year. And then their most recent record that was good, and it wasn't Van Weezer, was OK Human. That's actually one of my favorite albums of all time, believe it or not. And
Wait, Weezer can make stuff that's good?
yeah.
No, why would you admit that?
Why can't I admit it, Thomas? Why?
I'm not Thomas. He's Thomas.
No.
You're Thomas. He's Thomas. Are there any other Thomases I should know about? He just raised his hands.
Will the real Thomas please shut up?
So yeah, he's
I've
and
been
then,
told that on
and then I
numerous
got
occasions.
like deep into the memes of Weezer, and I tried getting Weezer to cover All Star, and it didn't work. So, except some like dumb girl on Twitter was like, "Hey, you should cover Africa," and they're like, "Yeah, we'll cover Africa." And
Isn't that awful?
It really wasn't that good. All Star would have.
Funny how you have to say this dumb girl.
They really.
It's just so mean.
They really should have just did All Star. That would have been like the pinnacle of meme.
It's just
Fair.
mean.
It's not my fault that she picked a stupid song. Anywho,
You know-
Hip, hip.
Alright, I have to bring this up for the show. Sergio likes to believe he has superior
I
taste
don't.
because everybody else has stupid taste except for him.
I really don't have good taste.
Because he's always like, man, people like this shit. They like this. They like that shit. They should be embarrassed by liking that. That's a stupid song. They're a stupid person for liking this. It was one of those things that I used to be that way as a teenager.
Can you really?
And then now, I don't give a fuck anymore.
Really? Let me. Give me this fucking.
Put it on the mic. Put it on the mic.
No.
No, it's gonna clip.
The mic doesn't deserve that.
Yeah, you're right.
Hold on.
Put it in the garbage. That's
I'll
where
make it
deserves to be.
abstract.
Dude, Urban Trout doesn't deserve this, okay?
You named it Irma Trout.
Well, it's Mike.
You're right.
Fuck you.
That's good.
I hate that.
Whenever we get multiple mics for us, which hopefully
It's gonna
sound
happen.
great.
Subscribe to our Patreon so we can get shit.
We don't have a Patreon.
We can get one.
But
Subscribe to my
if
OnlyFans.
if we had 3 mics, we can all name them different things. Somebody's mic can be Mike Myers,
Mike Wachowski.
yeah, Mike Wazowski,
Yeah, that.
Mike Trout.
Hmm.
We can name the equipment, and it'll be great.
Michael Myers.
That's a good idea.
That is a great
So
idea.
anyway,
Subscribe to our OnlyFans, and then we'll get more equipment and
and
sound
then
better.
you get to see
You know,
Rivers Cuomo feet
We
pics.
need to quit with this OnlyFans joke.
Why? People really think we have one?
No, I think it's just it's run its course.
Alright. Subscribe to our,
Subscribe to Fansly.
what's that?
It's OnlyFans competitor.
They have a competitor now?
Yeah, it's Fansly.
No shit.
Yeah.
No.
They've had them for like almost 2 years now.
There's Fansly and
just
there's
heard
also,
of
of
this.
course, Patreon, but like,
No one really puts porn on Patreon anymore.
oh, you're right.
They used to before OnlyFans was found out, and then they just all moved over there.
Yeah. It's just more
I've
convenient.
never heard of Fansly. This is the first.
Yeah,
I've heard
that's
of
been
it.
a thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, subscribe to that, I guess, or subscribe to us on Fiverr. We'll just say stupid shit for $20.
No, it's not $20. It's $300.
You trying to fucking jip them?
Oh yeah. One of those Fiverr sessions will pay for all of our mics. So honestly, it sounds like a net profit to me.
You just open a Fiverr account, and then someone just actually does give us that much, and then you close it.
Yep. It's just a little fundraiser. It's basically a GoFundMe, but I give you something stupid in return.
Oh, so you're gonna be like the scam Discog sellers at this point.
Oh yeah.
They get your money and then they close out their accounts and they're like, there you go. You get, except you give them something, in that case you get nothing.
Yep.
You get
Unless we go
something,
through PayPal.
but really it's nothing.
Yeah.
So I found out today that Austin's a huge Dire Straits fan.
I'm not a huge fan, but I enjoy their music.
He moves
occasionally.
Me and Austin like Knopfler.
Knopfler's pretty great.
Knopfler is
The
pretty
Knopster.
Sergio just found out today that Sting sings on Money for Nothing.
I really never knew that.
Sergio
like-
just found out today that Sting was actually in the police, believe it or not.
I cannot believe that. That was fucking shocking.
And then remember, you were really your mind was really blown when you found out that Sting sings for Sting.
I mean,
I thought that was a different guy.
have you heard his new album, Sting Sings Elvis?
Well, he probably did it better than Danzig,
Maybe.
even though his voice can't really.
He only sings stalker Elvis songs. Elvis.
Did he talk? Wait,
I was speaking like Sean Connery.
he's dead.
Good. I'm just joking. He was a good Bond.
We miss you, Sean. Come back to us.
Come back? Just become a zombie for Sean Connery.
Well, I want 007 too.
We have like 24 other 007
Yeah, but
movies.
he was the real one.
Oh my
He was
God.
the MVP.
You know,
No,
he did
it's all
star
about
in a
lands and
not
things.
official, like completely not licensed Bond parody movie.
Yeah, wasn't that what Die Another Day or?
No, it was. I think it was a remake of Diamonds Are Forever.
I thought he was
Did
in
he-
Casino Royale as well. Parody.
No, that one's.
Was
a
it
different
Goldfinger?
film. No, like they remade.
It came out in the 80s, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and it had. Yeah, I remember they interviewed him and he was wearing a wig,
or maybe it was Diamonds.
and he looked like he was made out of leather.
All
Yeah.
I know is I need to watch The Last of the Secret Agents so I can hear that Nancy Sinatra song again.
Sugar tits?
No, Last
No.
of the Secret Agents.
Oh.
Yeah, it's actually
He's
like
the
a James
last of the
Bond.
Secret Agents. Fuck you.
It's
Is that in the song?
yeah,
Of course.
it's actually like a James Bond ripoff theme, and she's like the star. She's the Bond girl in the movie.
The
Yeah.
not Bong Girl.
The bongo.
The Bongo.
The
Oingo Boingo?
yeah.
Dude,
Wow,
the
we're
fucking
both on the
song-
same page.
The fucking song from Texas Chainsaw 2, the Oingo Boingo song, is fucking great. I
I do
genuinely
like
that
them.
song.
They're a good band.
I've never
I
heard
don't
them.
really care for
beyond
Danny
that.
Elfman.
Dead Man's Party is really fucking good. I love that album. It's just so hard to find on vinyl.
You know, have we ever talked about Texas Chainsaw 2 in the show?
Not at all.
I thought we have. I thought we talked about.
We dabbled into it, but not as much.
Oh, was that a Scrapped episode where we talked
It
about?
was
like,
most
our-
likely a
I think
scrapped
it was.
episode.
Yeah, it was in our Lost Media episode.
It's literally not lost media.
If no one can hear it, it's Lost Media.
So, me and Thomas have, at least with me, I've definitely seen Texas Chainsaw the original since I was a kid. Like,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
been something that I was exposed to very early. But
They
I
didn't
never...
traumatize him though.
No, honestly, I never was too scared of it. But,
Traumatized my brother though.
That makes sense. But fucking, Thomas ended up bringing home a copy of Texas Chainsaw 2. And I was like, I don't know, this movie's probably gonna be shit. And he's like, yeah, it will be, but that's the fun of it. And I was like, oh, okay, well, let's watch it. And we just watched it, and it was Dennis Hopper losing his shit for like an hour. And it was lovely. It was wonderful.
It's the
my
best.
favorite line is still, "Tear this place down."
tear it all down. He's fucking
I don't know if he's
chainsawing
doing
the
it for like
beams.
10 minutes.
Man, that movie's a gem. I'm not gonna lie.
It's really fucking funny. It's honestly like I feel it is better than the first movie.
The camp
You know what?
levels on that movie are so... It's like John Waters directed it or something.
It is. That's what it kind of feels like. I can agree.
You know what? I do remember. Yeah, this was a scrap episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember now.
Have you seen the one with Matthew McConaughey yet?
No,
No,
we've been meaning to watch
That
it. We
one's
haven't
like
watched it
that
yet.
one's a John Waters movie.
I'm excited for that one. Still.
But the third one is apparently like it's supposed to be more serious and it's a lot more gory.
Leatherface.
Yeah, but and you're thinking it's not like a balance between 2 and 1. It's just a straight up like gore fest.
You tore off my wig, Leatherface.
You tore off my Sonny Bono wig, Leatherface, you bitch.
Get that bitch, Leatherface. Get that bitch.
Lick my plate, you dog dick.
Ooh,
Yeah.
humble pie.
But 3 is not that. Well, it's great if you love the horror aspect, but in terms of the comedic aspect, it's not really there.
I mean, even the first movie has some elements of comedy in it with the fucking scene where the dad gets fucking pissed off at Leatherface for breaking
Look
the door.
what your brother did to the door.
Like, that scene's fucking hilarious.
Jim Sido is the best part about both movies.
I like how Leatherface
great.
was afraid of him.
Yeah,
I
this
know.
frail little old man, and he's so scared of him.
He's like, ah, and he just like cowers in fear.
It's honestly the part of the movie where I'm like, wow, this is the thing that so many writers and directors of the new movies forget about Leatherface, of how like everybody makes him like this mean character and they tend to forget like kind of the childlike aspects of Leatherface.
He really is just like a mental patient that doesn't know any better, except he's kind of like just an animal for like other people's ways.
Yeah, he's like a pawn.
Yeah.
Essentially.
I mean, but in terms of like the remakes, they just make him up into a straight up murderer. Like he's
Yeah.
like the only one that lives at the house or something.
Yeah, they never really have had another character like Jim Sido, just like they've never really had another Ed O'Neill character. I think I'm getting his name right, the guy, the hitchhiker.
Yep, the one who looks like James Franco.
Yeah, they never get another character. They never get characters like that again. And I mean, closest as you. I mean, I guess Chop Top is really the closest you're gonna get to it.
Yeah.
I just feel like Chop Top is like just cranked up to 11 though, to the point to where he's just like so far removed from the other character.
He's so good though.
No, I love it. I absolutely adore him. I think he's great.
I think I found a tooth in my chili. No, that's not bone. That's just a really hard peppercorn.
And like, you didn't see the Netflix remake, did you?
No,
It's just a Halloween
glad
2018
It
ripoff.
is. Oh my god,
It's
so
not filmed in
bad.
America either. I think it's filmed in like New Zealand.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, they did.
Oh, and it's great. And speaking of people with their phones, there's a scene where Leatherface gets on a bus, and what does everybody do?
They film
get out
him.
their phone.
And then he just fucking kills him.
Isn't it great?
It's just, man, that one was just a cash grab.
Oh yeah.
It was a quick cash grab to like, I don't know, retain the rights or something.
It's so weird too because Texas Chainsaw is a movie that has gone through so many different distributors.
New Line used to own it.
New Line owned it, but they owned it because Canon, I think, sold it.
Yeah, I don't. Who did the distribution for the first movie?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I remember, but I know Canon did part 2. New Line did part 3.
It's weird too because I believe the third one's only called Leatherface because they couldn't obtain the name for some damn reason. I think is what I heard.
I don't remember. I know they managed to like use the name Texas Chainsaw Massacre later on,
Yeah.
but and also it's weird because New Line's like, we want this gory, we want this messed up, and then when they saw, they're like, it's too messed up, you have to cut it. So like,
It's so weird.
they went overboard even though they were told they can go overboard. I don't know.
Honestly,
That's strange.
Texas Chainsaw is a series that's just fucked.
It is like, honestly, the last good one was 4.
Honestly, I don't know. We both kind of liked the remake when we watched it, didn't we, Austin?
Yeah, it was alright. I didn't mind it. It had the drill sergeant from fucking Full Metal Jacket, so
Yeah.
Arlie
That's always
Emery.
welcome.
I
Yeah.
love that guy.
Isn't it funny
he's
though
always
how
a welcome addition.
Rest
to any
in
movie.
peace.
I
Yep.
still love that dumbass line that they get in the remake where they're like, wow, dude, we gotta hurry up. We paid like $25 for these Lynyrd Skynyrd tickets. I'm like, it's 1974. You did not spend $25 for Lynyrd Skynyrd tickets. You spent $8.50 for Lynyrd Skynyrd tickets. Let's be honest.
They were so out of touch. That's the
writers couldn't get
for
that
you.
right.
Of course not. That's just how out of touch they were.
It's funny.
Have you ever
Up to them, they're like, man, $25 sounds really cheap for Lynyrd Skynyrd tickets. I'm like, dude, are they going for the whole fucking tour? Are they going for like 8 nights or what?
They're just following them from city to city.
Yeah, they're like, God damn it, we're gonna miss Skinner tonight in Dallas. We're gonna have to catch him in Houston after this.
they're deadheads?
I've never heard of Skinner heads.
I mean, they only had him for a few years anyways.
True.
And then, then they went back into the 80s, and then everybody kind of like was like, okay, I guess we have the 80s ones.
It only takes one plane to stop Lynyrd Skynyrd.
I mean, it would really take one plane to stop any band or artist, Austin. You
Yes,
ever
it
heard of
would.
fucking The Day the Music Died? I don't know.
You ever heard of Bye Bye Miss American Pie? I took my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was fucked.
That's the lyrics.
Yep.
That's actually a song I love, even though
I hate that song.
I hate
I'm
that
surprised
song.
you hate it. I love that
I
fucking
hate
song.
that song
hate that
too.
song.
I can't
Who
go.
sings it? Don McLean, right?
Yeah,
Fuck Don McLean.
he's still alive, you know.
Who sings
Fuck
it with
Don
Don
McLean.
Johnson?
Yeah.
Don
I
Johnson,
love Don Johnson.
Yeah.
John
You know what?
Doxson.
There's this
John
fucking
Bonson.
song that
John
they play at my
Bonham?
work every day.
What is it?
It's a song where they literally, it's just about Don McLean's American Pie.
Is that killing him softly with this song or something?
No, it's some pop song where the guy says there was a long, long time ago when Chevys and Levies played on the radio at 40 miles an hour or
What?
something. And then he says, hey there, sing me a song. It was more than just a slice of American pie.
Wait,
I
what?
can't stop singing along. It was just more than a slice of American pie. I'm like,
Doesn't
why are
that
we
seem like
referencing Don McLean?
Doesn't that really seem like you're just scraping the bottom of the barrel to where your entire
It's-
song
it's-
is like, I love this song?
It sounds like that Kid Rock song where he rips off Sweet Home Alabama and Werewolves in
Summer
London.
Long.
Yeah.
To where he's literally just, the entire song just exists to reference Sweet Home Alabama. That's
See,
it.
but the thing is about this song, they're not even using the melody of American Pie. They're just literally referencing American Pie.
So he's trying to sing a tribute to it, but he's just like talking about how much he likes the song.
yeah.
You know, I'm noticing this is becoming kind of a trend because even with that Charlie Puth song, the Marvin Gaye and Get It On,
Yeah.
that entire song is just based off of Get It On, but it has
About
no
Ed
connection
Sheeran?
to it. No,
Yeah.
it's Charlie Puth.
Oh, okay.
But the entire song is literally just referencing Marvin Gaye's Get It On.
The Marvin Gaye's estate is very, very stingy. I can just point that out. But honestly, I can understand because I guess the estate is like sick of like him being screwed over. Like what was that one guy? Robin Thicke, Alan Thicke.
Robin Thicke.
Okay, yeah, he fucking ripped off a Marvin Gaye.
Thinks his dad.
Yeah, I miss his dad. His dad was cool. Rest in peace. But he ripped off a Marvin Gaye song, and then they sued him, and his career died instantly.
Honestly, his career should have died after he made fucking
Was it
Blurred Lines.
Yeah, that song was fucking awful.
I like that
It's a piece
song.
of
It's
shit
just
song.
way too rapey.
Is it?
It's date rapey.
Is it?
Yes.
I didn't know that. There's a Sublime song literally called Date Rape.
Yeah, I know. My friend plays it all the time.
Does he really? I don't like Sublime.
My friend's like a huge Sublime fan.
So he only likes one album because they only ever did one fucking album.
I assume. I can't get it. I hear it and I'm just like, this is just rap ska.
So two things that are very oddly different.
Yeah.
It's great, isn't it?
I really don't like
It sounds great.
I get so annoyed at
You
hearing it.
love it.
I hate it.
I
He's
found
also
out
the guy
who's
that's a
saying
huge Tool fan.
This piece
Oh
of shit song.
no, that's not good.
What, Thomas?
What?
I found out who sang that piece of shit song
What is
about American Pie.
What?
The group is called Five for Fighting, and the
Alright.
song is called Slice. And it says the song is a nostalgia tribute to Don McLean's American Pie, featuring a reference to Chevys and Levies in the first line. And we were more than just a slice of American pie. In
This
the
is
chorus.
rhyming a lot. Isn't that great?
Isn't it awful?
It is.
Apparently, the album was promoted on MySpace, so you know how it
Wait, how old is that?
is. 09. He put it out during the death of MySpace.
Yes, he did!
Because Facebook came in full swing in like 08.
Dude, that is so fucking stupid! Oh my god! Do you remember MySpace?
I did know of it. I knew my mom was on it,
My mom was on it too.
but I wasn't around to be on it myself.
Oh,
There was a lot of viruses on there.
I was hardly even on Facebook that much. Like, I was for a little bit, but I never really actively ever used it.
You know, it's funny, the story of MySpace, how it died, was not only because of Facebook, right? It was just, they couldn't afford to, like, not have ads on there, so they just kept it on there, and a lot of people, like, fell for those really shitty ads, and so a lot of people got viruses,
Makes sense.
and then they just are like, oh well.
You know that that's still around though, right? MySpace.
It is, but it's like,
It's dead. But
it's
there.
it's a complete shell of its former self.
Yep.
Will Tom still be your friend?
I think he's dead.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Well, if you're not dead, Tom, come on our
His
podcast.
website's dead.
It is.
I think he sold it by the time he made it or something.
Probably.
I just
But-
remember back in the day, Tom would be your first friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know,
Remember,
like,
it was always like Tom, where he's like looking up from like his fucking like sink cabin. He's like, "Hey, how you doing?"
I thought it was a dry erase board that was behind.
I don't know,
me.
was it? I just remember it's like Tom looking like, "Hey, didn't see you there."
God. you know what sucks is that that's gonna become like very obscure now, like in the future, because no one's gonna remember that except like the much older crowd. So like the newer generation's like, what the fuck is that? Will there ever be a MySpace revival?
Will
I
there
don't
ever
think
be
so.
a MySpace too?
You know what? It's so
Will there?
weird too, because I remember like when Facebook came a thing, I was thinking like, wow, what's gonna outdo Facebook? What's gonna kill Facebook to the point of where everybody goes to another platform?
Nothing has.
And then little did I know back in the day that, oh yeah, Facebook would get meta and shit. Like,
And then Facebook. The funny thing is, because I've never really been active on any other social media platforms instead of Instagram. That's like the only one I've ever been super active on.
you know, am I wrong? They didn't originally own Instagram.
No,
right?
they
buy
didn't.
them
No,
out?
They
they
bought
did.
it.
They bought it, and that's why it's fucking full of Facebook type stuff on it.
I don't know.
It's just funny because like I've tried Twitter and I've tried Facebook.
Do you think
Twitter.
Tom has a Facebook?
Maybe he does. He probably does.
He does. There's
You
no
think-
way there's no way he's still ride or die for MySpace.
You think Tom got tired of it at one point and he's like, fuck it, I'm tired of it. I'll go on Facebook, and he's like, fuck it, I'll try Instagram, it's cool.
The
and
captain
Twitter."
has to go down with the ship.
I'm pretty sure Tom has a Twitter there somewhere.
I don't.
Right.
Do you think maybe he just doesn't have a social media in general? Like
There definitely is a chance. There's quite a bit.
the guy who did the first ever YouTube video, like he has his channel is still up, but it's just that one video. But apparently
What
there
is
was
the video of?
the Me at the Zoo video.
I've never seen it.
Really? That's literally the first ever YouTube video.
Is it literally just him at a zoo?
It's like a 10-second video of him like, "Hi, I'm at the zoo. Here's an elephant," and he's like, "Okay, bye."
Makes sense.
And it's like, that's it.
You remember that shitty Family Guy joke where Austin's heard this a lot, where Peter's like sitting at a desk and it's so bad where he's like, yep, I just finished every YouTube video in existence, and I gotta admit it was pretty good, I guess.
It's like 1 billion videos on YouTube now.
And I'm
I
like,
know.
there's no way he would finish that because it's still there would still be videos getting posted.
Whoever wrote that joke really didn't understand how
Whoever
YouTube
wrote
worked.
Family Guy just doesn't know how
They're just
comedy
boomers.
works.
That joke pissed me off so much because I was like, it doesn't take very much research to find out that people upload videos to YouTube every single day.
Every single second at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I found interesting is that Family Guy, okay, so they ripped off The Simpsons, right?
Yeah.
And
And they ripped off Weezer?
Yeah, they had Weezer on the show. But have you ever noticed, like, when you were watching it when you were younger, and those cutaway gags would just drag and drag?
Oh,
and
like the chicken planning one?
Yeah, that one. Or like there was one where Peter was trying to like fucking forklift a whale, and it just kept going and going, and I'm thinking to myself, this is supposed to be funny? Like, what are they doing?
You know which one I always thought was like annoying after a while?
What?
Was the Conway Twitty ones where they just would cut away to Conway Twitty?
That one bugged me. Like, I got really mad because, first of all, I'm like, I don't know what this is. What is this referring to? Like, it just seems so niche to like make a reference to something no one really gets.
I agree. It never made any sense.
Like, I just hate how like they didn't really have any like
good gags.
Not good gags, but just people like saying, okay, that's not gonna work. Because at least with the Simpsons, they were just like, what about this? I'm like, no, that's not really gonna work. They kind of just said, fuck it, do whatever, and just see what. It's basically just throw as much shit at the wall as possible and see if it's funny. And they got lucky a few times, but man, when you really watch like old Family Guy and new Family Guy, just so much jokes just drag on.
You know what? There is one my cat told me that I forgot about that is accurate.
What?
There's one where they make fun of Tom Green, and it's just Tom Green sucking on a cow udder, and he's like, am I funny yet? Can I stop? Am I funny yet? Can I stop now? But am I funny? Can I stop? I'm like, that's accurate. That really is Tom Green's humor. Can I stop now?
That's true. But honestly, it's just so hard to like really take Family Guy seriously. Like, everyone's like, oh, old Family Guy was better. I'm like, not really.
I enjoyed
their
it,
moments
but
in
also
early days.
like I watched it as a kid, so I think it's partly nostalgia.
It's just there's no rewatchability unlike old Simpsons. I don't know, the jokes the jokes are still good, and I'm not trying to be biased. Like, I'll go back to old Family Guy, but I'm like, man, it's really not that good. Like,
remember like 2014, 15, they're like, we're gonna finally end The Simpsons, and it never happened.
But I never heard of that.
Yeah, you don't remember that? Like,
no.
It was before the Disney merger deal. They're like, yeah, we're gonna end The Simpsons. Fox is like, we've kind of ran the course. It's getting too expensive. We don't want to pay Matt Groening or his team anymore. And then it just got alleviated whenever Disney's like, we'll buy it out.
And then they kept running that into the ground. It's actually been ran into the ground since 1999. So it's
Coming
just
from the most hardcore Simpsons fan at 4.
I only like the seasons 1 through 9. Okay, once I take off my nostalgia glasses, 10 through now is fucking awful. So
you told me it should have ended on its 10-year mark.
It should have ended on the 9-year mark. That's where everything started to dip.
I mean, but 2000 party's over at a time, you know.
You had to say that, didn't you?
You did.
I mean, but tonight they were gonna party like it's 1999.
I actually heard 1999 at a thrift shop the other day.
Don't you want to go?
1999.
I'm done with y'all. We're not even like in an hour.
I was dreaming when I wrote this, so sue me if I go to stray.
I thought it was sue me if I go too fast.
That's what I thought. I was about to say that, but then he said it's straight, and I was like, I'm just gonna shut up.
When I wrote this.
When I woke up this morning, could have sworn it was Judgment Day.
Austin, you're an Office
fan. I could
fan.
have sworn I had jury duty.
Yeah, what about it?
At one point, did you think the show started losing its touch? In what season?
I can't think of the seasons because they all kind of just blend together to me.
Honestly, I think
after a while,
we're talking Family Guy, right?
No, it's The Office.
Oh, The Office.
I think it should have ended whenever Michael left.
I agree with that, because after that they couldn't fucking. They kept scrambling to find something to do.
The only thing that I really liked post Michael leaving was they have an appearance from him. It's definitely not the last episode.
No, it is the last episode.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the final episode where Dwight gets married. And
That's what she said, right?
Yeah.
I just really liked seeing him be very nostalgic and beady-eyed over them. It was very nice and heartfelt.
He doesn't say anything. He only says like 2 things, but
well, if I'm not mistaken, I remember there being a part, and I could have sworn it was after he left, to where he was like, "Now I'm seeing all my children grow up and they're getting married."
That's in the last episode.
Is that in the last episode?
Honestly, I skipped most of the last episode because I was tired of the bullshit. I was like, I just want to see where Michael's at.
No, yeah, I've watched the entire series multiple times.
I hate seasons 8 and 9.
I don't hate them. I don't love them, but they're tolerable. The only plot lines I really don't like is Pam and the cameraman. I think that's a really shitty, half-baked plot
It was
line.
very forced too.
But we get the guy from Silicon Valley. That's the camera guy. We get Mo himself.
Oh, yeah.
Chris.
At first I thought you were talking about the guy who plays Gabe, and I was like, yeah, he's in Silicon Valley.
No.
This guy fucks?
The weird tall guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but Chris Opolis or something. He has a really long name.
All I remember is
Chris
that...
Hip Hop Anonymous.
Yeah.
I remember that. I like the one where Creed becomes manager.
Oh, I fucking love that episode.
That
episode is so funny.
That I love to death because it just reminds you of The Simpsons a lot.
I've made a joke about that episode to one of my coworkers because they'd seen the show. Because one of our managers is really old.
Yeah.
Like really, really, really old. And he hasn't been at the company for like a long, long, long time. He's been there maybe like 5 or 6 years. And we're talking because our GM's gonna retire in like 3 years. So we're like, who do you think's gonna take a spot? And we're like, oh god, if it goes off of seniority, it's gonna be him. The old guy. And we're like, oh no. And I was like, dude, it's gonna be like fucking Creed taking over the office. To where he has that big fucking granite desk and he just sits there like a king, not knowing what to do.
Keep it running. Throws the keys to nobody.
Fucking love that.
And then he's like, we're making acronyms.
Fucking love that episode.
That's such a good episode.
Hey, Jim.
Gave me a memory.
Hey Jim, do you want to marry my daughter?
I thought I'm engaged to Pam. I thought you were gay. Why would I want to marry? Why would I want to get with your daughter? I don't know.
This actually gave me a flashback. Remember the first time me and you hung out? That's what you were looking for was Creed's records.
Oh yeah, the Grassroots.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's in that band.
We literally spent a fucking hour in the clearance room. He's like, I'm looking for that record, and I was just like, can you fucking go already?
It was not an hour. I was in there for like a little bit. I was like, if I find it, I'll get it. If it wasn't in there. I found the cassette. I assumed he was on it, but he wasn't. Because he was in that band. He even mentioned in the show. But,
you know what? Let's get back to it. So we were supposed to talk about what we did this week. Might as well bring it up now.
Okay.
What did you do?
So, what I have done this week.
Did you fuck?
Linkin Park.
I beat Resident Evil 4 Remake twice.
For the 9 billionth time.
And I beat it in 4 hours.
And I rage quit the game.
I don't even
less
blame
than
him.
4 hours.
What's funny is Thomas rage quits the game, right?
Yeah.
And then me and him just had a thorough discussion about what we liked and didn't like about the remake, and we just had a very calm and level-headed discussion about it and analyzing why we liked it and didn't like it. I'm like, this is oddly civil.
It is.
Because we're both on the exact opposite spectrums. I fucking love that remake, and he doesn't hate it. He just
He's
indifferent about it. And we had just an oddly calm discussion about it, being like, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, okay, I can see what you mean there. Oh, yeah, no, that doesn't work.
If anything, I think both of us just kind of brought valid points of why we really love the original, why we love the remake.
Yeah. Like it was just a really nice discussion.
It was,
very
and it was great because it was one of those things too where I'm like, wow, you brought up something I didn't think about. Like,
that was the first time I ever heard a wholesome discussion about a video game. Usually people just grab each other's throats.
No, like me and him were talking about it. Like
we were very civilly discussing it.
Yeah, remember how like I brought up a fact that like both of us didn't really think about. We're like, wow, the new Leon, when he kicks, it feels like he's holding back, and the old one, you'll just see like Leon just bust some fucking heads open and shit.
Like, it's funny because in the original he'll fucking wind up when he's about to kick, and then the new one he just kind of kicks him like a regular person. So at a certain point, it just feels like, dude, where the fuck did all that power and aggression go in the original? Like, and it's so weird.
And then we found out you have to play the game a lot in order to get a power up to where your melee becomes lethal.
Yep. Because you can get certain items in the game. Let's say if you get an S+ rank, which basically means you beat the game in X amount of time, and you do it in one go on a new game. You can get that power. You can get basically that accessory, which gives you the power up of whatever. Sometimes it's like it makes all your knife hits lethal, it makes all your melee lethal. gives you infinite ammo, different things like that.
I will say, I'm so frustrated with the game, but I still want to beat it. I want to beat it on my own, just so I can say that I did it, so I can eventually play it like how you play it, just very with ease and
I just play it casually now.
I want to get to that point, but I'm like, dude, it's taken so long to get to that.
I've dumped like 60 hours into the game, dude. It's been great.
At this point, too, and then you told me, you're like, oh yeah, get ready, because the Krauser fight's even more annoying this time around, and I'm like...
Well, I was saying because, like, if you found that first fight annoying, you're gonna find the second fight with him even more annoying. Because it's just that fight, but more difficult.
And part of me at that point's like, I want to really play it.
It's not that bad. I'm gonna be honest, it's not that bad. I don't think it's that bad. But if you were annoyed at the first knife fight, I don't think you're gonna like the second knife fight.
So in closing, buy Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, I fucking love that game. It was great. I had a great time.
For anybody that likes it, have fun with it. It's great.
Buy the mobile version.
How I was talking... What the fuck? How I was talking to Thomas about it is because he hasn't enjoyed it because he can't play it like the original. Because he comes into it with the mindset of playing with the original. But... if you ever heard anybody talk about Doom Eternal and how that game makes you play it how the game wants you to play it, that's how the fucking Resident Evil 4 remake is.
That makes sense.
So you have fun when you play it the game like how the game wants you to play it, but if you don't, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah.
Basically, don't play Doom, play Dude.
I love Doom.
Because my argument with it is it's just kind of like I've gotten so used to how the old school Resident Evils are to where you stand in place and you shoot. The enemies move slower, so you can stand and shoot, and that's just how I've always gotten used to it. And I kind of had this problem with all the remakes. Like, I love 2 and 3, they're great, but in my head, I just still want to play it of how I've always played it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Standing still, and aiming, and just a lot of that. I'm just so used to the way that they were.
The slower, more methodical gameplay rather than the more frantic, aggressive gameplay.
And then it's weird I say that because I'm also not very good at the RE1 remake. I
fucking suck at that remake.
But actually, I've heard a lot of people say that one's just a pain in the ass to play.
Yeah. So Zero, I've heard.
Yeah, Zero's really, really hard, but that one's just unfair on how hard it is.
So Sergio, what have you been playing?
What have you been doing this week in general?
I got some new speakers.
Okay.
I went to a thrift shop and got some nice ass speakers. And
did you pop some tags? Did you have $20 in your pocket?
What?
It's making a reference.
You're gonna pop some tags? You only got $20 in your pocket? This is fucking awesome.
You know, I got $10.
I was referencing thrift shop.
I hate that fucking song.
Who's that song?
Macklemore.
Dude, no one even knows. No one remembers that guy.
I mean, I do. I just named him.
Yeah, I'm surprised you remember him. Didn't he die?
No. That's Mac Miller.
Oh.
You know what's funny though? You're not the only person who's got confused about that. There were a lot of people when Mac Miller died, they're like, man, we'll never be able to hear Thrift Shop again. And they're like, that's the wrong guy. They're like, oh shit, sorry. My bad.
We won't be able to hear the rest of Mac Miller's discography again live.
It's like the whole thing, how whenever...
Bob Seger or Pete Seeger died?
No, it was like whenever Ryan Adams got in trouble for like a lot of like the sexual misconduct, and everybody's like, Bryan Adams, fucking asshole. I'll never listen to Summer of '69 again.
They're like, wrong one.
Yeah, apparently Bryan Adams got mad. He's like, I'm not him.
He's like, there's no B in his name.
Oh,
it's just an R.
Apparently Ryan Adams had a nervous breakdown. People kept saying, hey, aren't you Bryan Adams? And he just started screaming at them.
That's great.
That's funny. No, it takes you back when Pete Seeger died and everybody misreported it that Bob Seger died.
Bob Seger came out, I'm alive.
And Bob Seger's like, don't worry guys, I'm still alive. Or when Lou Reed died, and they kept reporting that Lou Bega died, the guy who sang Mambo No. 5, and he actually got to go on Twitter, he's like, I'm sorry to hear about Lou Reed's passing, he was a genius. To all these reports, no, I am not deceased. And then he puts R.I.P. Lou Reed.
You know what? It's very similar in the way because neither of them have passed, and I hope it's not anytime soon. But People always get Patti Smith confused with Patti Smythe, I think is her name. The one that's supposed with the Y.
There's two they both have a similar name.
Yeah, and everybody's like, oh, Patti Smith. I know which one you're talking about. And they either know about the 70s one or they think, oh, you're talking about the 80s one, right?
It's so fucking annoying. Because I'm like, who is that? I'm like, I know who Patti Smith is, but who's this Patti Smythe?
It's the same thing, like, again, with Bryan Adams and Ryan Adams. I really get both of them confused sometimes.
I do too.
How about Giant Adams?
So what else did you do?
I got those speakers. I got a Vertigo pressing of Never Say Die for $20.
Sweet.
That's pretty badass. And then I got that. I got more copies of Grease on VHS for.
When's that event?
In July.
Oh, okay.
It's the day after.
That's a wait.
It's the day after my birthday. Oh yeah, since I guess it happened yesterday. I got summoned for jury duty.
Oh, and we found out for the 5th time.
I'm fucking pissed.
We found out for the 5th time Andy Newmark is not dead and he has Sergio's birthday.
Yeah,
We
both.
just found out for the 5th time Andy Newmark isn't coming on the podcast.
Not yet.
Andy, reach out.
Oh, but we did find out. So I barely found out about this singer.
I'm talking about Brett Smiley?
Yeah, Brett Smiley. I barely found out about Brett Smiley because Apple Music recommended his music because I like this band called Silverhead. And I was like, oh, wow, okay, I'll give this a try. And we found out that Jim Keltner plays on it.
Yeah, he's on it. He really is.
Jim Keltner's on everything.
Brett Smiley, if you don't know, could have been amazing glam rock star, but
He had the Stones manager,
Andrew
who I just
Luck.
found out is still alive today.
He is. He's 79.
I need
But
to hear that as a test record he did.
oh, you can.
I have it. I need to listen to it.
Oh. But yeah, Brett Smiley apparently died the same day as Bowie and the same year. So
Same place too, New York.
yeah, in New York.
Same house. Same room, in fact.
They lived together.
Aside from that, I also heard a really good Pretty Things record that I'm on the hunt for.
Parachute.
Yeah, Parachute.
Sounds like more of like a Beach Boys and Pink Floyd album.
Dude, it's great. I love it.
I liked it.
It's
It was pretty good.
I'm honestly still just considering buying that comp.
The
from
twofer?
Yeah, the twofer that has SF Sorrow with Parachutes.
I hope somebody in this listening will be like, dude, I love the Pretty Things, because a lot of people are being like, who is this group? Maybe we'll get more traction for them.
Yeah, because me and him were talking about it today, me and Sergio, about how the Pretty Things are kind of a band that,
Obscure.
yeah, like, apparently back in the day, they were praised very highly. They much like the Yardbirds. The Yardbirds were praised so highly, and then now both of them
Kind of
nobody
falling.
ever brings about.
Oh, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so I don't know if you know about this album, but Thomas wants to get it. That Baby Huey record, The Living Legend.
Apparently it's produced by Curtis Mayfield, and it's a heavily sampled record.
Yeah,
too.
it is. I wasn't big on it when I heard it, but
I heard it a couple of months ago, and I love it. It's good.
The thing is that it's stupid expensive originally, and Thomas was like, "I'll just get an original. It's fine." I'm like, "Are you sure about that?" The cheapest is like $170.
And then I found an 09. I'm like, great, it's gonna be good. And then I found it's from Scorpio, which means it's pressed at Rainbow. And for anybody that doesn't know about Rainbow, they were such a good record plant that they closed down.
Yeah.
That's how good they were.
So the only one that you really can get is the one by Run Out Groove.
For $40.
35. You
Dollars.
sound like the guy from B-52s again.
I'm
Oh,
always
you're
Fred
Fred
Schneider.
Schneider. Why don't
So-
you play it on the jukebox, baby?
So actually,
did you
me and
do?
Thomas were watching a bunch of SNL clips last night,
Weezer, Ride or Die.
and I thought a good topic would be
Ride or Die.
me and Thomas know each other's, but like, do you have a favorite era of SNL?
To be honest, the 70s I liked because they had a lot of good musicians on. The 80s, there's barely any footage from the 80s. So it's like the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, like up to 95 is where I watch a lot of the clips because of Chris Farley, because a lot of his stuff is just fucking hilarious. I don't really remember like much from when Will Ferrell was on the show. honestly.
Honestly, what I can tell you is from the little that I've seen of the 80s stuff, it's not all that good.
Yeah, because they didn't have Lorne Michaels, so the management there wasn't really like that crazy.
It's kind of a botched job. I mean, some of the best
Robbie
stuff
Downey Jr. was there.
for a short time.
Yeah.
Just like in the 90s, Ben Stiller was there for a short time.
So
Really?
was so was the dude that played Chuck on Better Call Saul. He was in the 90s one.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
And then another one.
Yeah, he was.
No, he was in the 80s.
No, he was in the 90s one.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, I forgot his name. Michael McKean.
Yeah, well, no, I thought he was in the 80s because that's how him and Christopher Guest met, because Christopher Guest was a cast member.
No, he was also in the 90s too. Like, he was on there when Will Ferrell was on the cast member. So,
Weird.
yeah, I think for like 2 seasons, I believe.
And then
It was
another
weird.
one that you might not know, Austin, is Sarah Silverman started out.
Yeah.
Really?
In the early 90s.
Whenever you watch, you remember the Lunch Ladyland song?
she's in
if
the
you look
background.
closely, yeah, she's dancing to it. And she looks like so emotionless.
She looks like she doesn't want to be there.
I don't doubt that she did.
And I mean, she wound up leaving anyway just because.
There was a lot of famous people that kind of just were there and they kind of just gave up.
I think Ben Stiller was there for like you said, like 2 or 3 days.
Really?
And then he left, and then he got a better deal because I think he got to do the Ben Stiller show just off of the names, like off his parents' namesake alone.
You know what's funny is that Chris Rock, even though he was on there and a lot of people remember him, he didn't really get much time on there.
No,
That's
not
why he
really.
left it for In Living Color, and when he went on there, they got canceled.
Yeah.
So he had to do something. So that's when he just did stand-up, and he was known for that.
Honestly, you're gonna hate knowing this, but Apatow was supposed to be on SNL.
As a cast member?
Yeah. and
Not
then-
a writer?
No, yeah, not as a writer, as a cast member, and he lost it because apparently there was somebody that came up that said, "It's all right, Judd, I got this," and it was Rob Schneider. Rob Schneider took the chance because apparently Lauren was really close to hiring him,
Really?
like really, really close.
So Judd Apatow could have been the copying guy?
he could have, yeah, he could have. I wonder what he would have brought to it. Because if that's the case, him and Adam McKay could have started working together a lot sooner.
Was Adam McKay a writer on SNL?
Adam McKay didn't become a writer until Will Ferrell.
That's how they met then.
Yeah, but could you imagine if Adam McKay and Judd Apatow were together
They
on
could've.
SNL, they could have actually like made some really, really good skits.
I just remember that Bob Odenkirk was a writer.
Mm-hmm.
He was, and
But he also was a writer for Second City. That's how
his brother wrote for The Simpsons,
yeah.
which I find funny. I think Bob Odenkirk was in the skit. I don't remember or not.
I don't remember.
I know he's in Wayne's World.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he plays one of the nerds.
I just know he's in Cable Guy.
Yeah, I know he's in Cable Guy for like a split
He
second.
says me and Austin's favorite line.
What the hell's the matter with you, man?
I bet like he really had to give a lot of emotion for that. Like Ben Stiller was like, "Okay, Bob. Okay, I want you to say this one line, but you have to say it like you mean it. Okay?"
You know, it's funny too because when we were at Half Price earlier, I started to thinking of Cable Guy because I thought about that whole that moment when Jim Carrey just starts reciting random shit and then he's like, "Yeah, remember Midnight Express?" Because they had the Midnight Express soundtrack.
He
Oliver Stone, dude.
He puts his fucking like nipple on the fucking screen.
Yeah, he's like, "It's funny, dude. You remember Midnight Express?"
Have you seen that movie?
No,
I haven't either. I just know there's a scene where he's like the guy. The famous scene apparently that they reference in Cable Guy is the girl's like showing her tit,
Yeah,
and the guy's like crying while he's whacking it.
yeah.
Apparently that was like a famous scene. I'm like, why was that famous? That's weird. Why was he crying while whacking it? Why were they both crying?
Come on, touch my hand. You need human contact.
The weirdest fucking like if I see the movie, I'm still gonna find that weird. I just know it's about a guy who smuggled drugs and like.
And then remember in Cable Guy, you got to get your favorite reference.
What?
When he kicks Matthew Broderick and he's like, "Remember Kevin Costner, Waterworld?"
Oh yeah, you love Waterworld, Austin. What? It's not my fault. You said it was your favorite movie.
I flicked Sergio.
You actually touched my
Penis.
yeah, you did.
It was pretty wild. So,
It
I
was
gonna
pretty
say-
wild.
So we know your favorite era of SNL, Thomas. What's yours?
Honestly, I love the 90s, but I'm probably gonna have to go when Hader, Sandberg.
Oh, that was good. That was to me the last time that was ever good to me.
Yeah, because I mean, again, we had Hader, Sandberg, we had
Jason Sudeikis.
Jason Sudeikis.
Thomason.
Yeah.
They all actually had something to put on the table.
Even Kate McKinnon, or not Kate McKinnon, Kristen Wiig.
Yeah, she was great.
We had
Honestly, I was gonna say the exact same thing. That's my favorite era. I fucking love that era.
It's the era we grew up on, me and you personally. I mean, because as a kid, dude, I remember I got so excited one year when I got like Beatles Rock Man, and I was like, it was during Christmas, and I remember being so excited because Paul Rudd was hosting and Paul McCartney was the musical guest.
I remember that, and Paul McCartney played like 4 fucking songs.
I remember he played "Give Peace a Chance" on there.
I remember he also played "Get Back" and they cut it.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
I remember being so excited. I was like, I couldn't wait, and it felt like such a magical time, like for me, because I was like, oh, it's really the time, like one of the last times it still felt like Christmas to me.
Dude, me too.
It was amazing.
Yeah, after that, it all went downhill.
It felt great because I was like, wow, this really feels like something special.
I mean, I remember the first time I had a white Christmas, and it was like
Okay.
yeah, I was 14, and that
What
was
the fuck is a white Christmas?
when it's snowing on Christmas.
Oh.
Have you ever heard that expression?
I heard the song. I just never knew what the fuck it meant.
I mean, honestly, I've never really heard of such an expression either. I mean, I've heard of the song as well, but I'm like, is there really a difference? I thought that's just always a Christmas. That's why I'm like, what, you did coke?
Yeah.
Is that your white Christmas?
I had a severe
it's
cocaine addiction.
It's a very racial Christmas, you know. It's got to be a white Christmas.
I had a severe cocaine addiction at 14.
Oh yeah.
It's cool because Oliver Stone wrote the whole story.
Yeah.
I'm dreaming of a speedball on Christmas.
I mean, that's probably happened. Somebody's died of a
Probably
speedball
has.
on Christmas.
Man, I miss
100%.
that feeling when it used to feel that
Dying
way.
of a speedball on Christmas?
No, I miss when like holidays for me used to feel like something.
I agree. I miss
don't
that
feel
too.
like anything
They just feel like nothing. Yeah, they don't feel like anything.
Like whenever you'd get like excited, the Christmas tree would come up. The lights would come up.
The fucking cheesy Christmas cartoons would come on.
The fucking Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time's coming on.
I still get something out of me. That song still gets something out of me. God damn
It
it!
would start getting like cold, and you know your parents would take you to the department stores and looking around.
Yeah.
Walmart.
And you really see all the Christmas crap, and then
it's just like
wow.
that smell of Christmas too.
I know you don't get that anymore.
No, you don't.
Like, I
As you
remember-
get older, and then you find out, oh yeah, like, you know, it's like that expression everybody uses, like, yeah, you find out what the sausage is made of, and then you're like, oh, I don't give a fuck anymore. Because once you find out how it's done, you're like, it doesn't mean anything anymore.
Like, it just makes me feel like I just don't want to be with anybody on Christmas. Like, I just want to be by myself.
Why?
Like, because it's just, you know, I don't want to get into too personal. It's just
This clip's called Sergio Sad Boy.
Yeah.
This clip's called Sergio
I'm Joji's lost brother because it makes sad boy music.
Yeah, of course.
I scream at people.
This is music by Joji.
I don't listen to him. I've never heard his stuff.
Let's keep going a little longer about this one, Aaron. This one.
But
needs
anyways,
more
yeah,
funny
I
parts.
mean, like, Christmas to me was a special time. I was always looking forward to it. Now I'm just like, I don't fucking care. Like, I don't spend it with anybody. I just kind of like spend it with with Nova, and then that's it.
Remember, I think it was a big deal.
I have a tradition still, though. I still watch Christmas Vacation every year.
I know. I don't watch Christmas movies.
I don't think we have any traditions for Christmas. You know what's the only traditions we do have?
What?
Halloween.
Yeah.
All month long, we try to watch a horror movie a day.
And then we only watch. We never even go
We
through.
watch at least like maybe 10 or 15 at most.
Because you either get too tired or you just don't care.
Yeah.
We'll get distracted.
Or maybe we just can't hang out that day.
No.
It's a whole fucking month. But the other thing we'll try to do is play horror games. And most years I don't, because I'm just like, every other time that's not October, I'm like, I'm in the mood for a horror game. And then it's October, I'm like, I don't want to play horror games.
Dude, I feel the same way with horror movies, where I'm like, oh, I want to watch a horror movie. And then when October comes up, nah, I'm good. I don't need
Like,
it right now.
But last year, I marathoned Silent Hill 1 through 3, and that was fucking great. I had such a good time.
I didn't really do anything last Halloween.
Last Halloween, I remember things went, because I had plans on Halloween
I
night.
gave people candy. That was it.
I gave people cancer.
But
yeah, I did apparently.
But I had plans on Halloween night to
Whack it.
to go see my girlfriend, and we were, because her little cousin still does trick-or-treating, so we were gonna go walk with her. And then I was like, I kept waiting, and the entire night just kept getting later and later until it was already like 8 or 9, and I'm like, this is way too fucking late. I'm not going regardless. I'm like, we're ready. And I remember I was finishing up Silent Hill 1 at the time, and I'm like, I don't want to fucking go anymore. I was pissed, but I beat Silent Hill 1, so I'm like, okay, it's fine.
You just had something to look forward to.
Yeah, at the time I beat Silent Hill 2, and I beat 1 on Halloween. I just had to beat 3 a little after Halloween, but it was a lot of fun.
You know, this is
Good times.
interesting. Because speaking of traditions, I've never actually told you this, so I guess I'll tell you live on camera.
I'm a
We're not
Satanist,
even on
Thomas.
Live on cop camera.
You just hear Sergio, I'm a Satanist, Thomas. I sacrifice at least one virgin a year. Have either of you banged yet?
But it's just ploy.
But I do actually have a tradition I do since
You eat
like
tamales.
no, that's on Christmas. But I listen.
Solely Mexican.
I listen to Sgt. Pepper every June 1st because I've done that since I was 15.
Why? Is there any significance behind June 1st?
I did it back in 2010, and I was just in the mood to listen to a full album that day, and I was like, I'll just listen to Sgt. Pepper. And then after that, I was like, I'm gonna do this every June 1st for the rest of my life, and so that's what I've done since 2010.
I don't have any other celebrations besides the Halloween
Like
thing, I think.
every year, I've
What?
listened to the album full on June 1st.
You know what I used to do? I haven't done in years. When I became such a big Nirvana fan in my middle school years, I every freaking year I'd watch Nirvana stuff, and I'd watch the Cobain documentary about his son every year, like for like a good, I don't know, 3 years I did it.
Yeah.
And I stopped eventually. I remember like one year I told my mom, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch it again, Mom. She's like, that's fucking depressing. I was like, oh, okay.
Isn't our mom great?
Yeah, that's what she literally told me. She's like, I don't know why you want to do that. That's fucking depressing.
God. What a fucking happy chappy, clappy chappy.
Oh, did I ever tell you how I got in?
Wacky stuff.
Like when I first heard Nirvana,
What?
so I had gotten into the Foo Fighters, and I was so excited because I had gotten the CD. Like I maybe had it like for 2 weeks at that point.
Yeah.
And I was still playing a lot of Guitar Hero because I had just started playing Guitar Hero 2 in like 08. I was very late to the party on that one. Anyways, I was playing it then, and I remember watching the Weird Al parody of Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Smells like Nirvana.
And then I heard the actual one, and I was like, oh, I remember the song, like being like a really small kid and hearing it, and I was like, I love this. And I remember telling my mom, I was like, Mom, have you ever heard of this band called Nirvana? I was like, I really like this stuff. It's really good. I was like, I think I remember hearing a lot of this when I was a kid, and I was like, it's just really, it's hitting me. And she's like, I don't know why you care. He fucking killed himself.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Like, she's like, there's no point. He's a loser anyway.
My God.
Remember when Dad got pissed off at us listening, or you listened to Bowie because he's like, he's gay.
Yeah.
He dresses like a woman, he's gay, and that's the entire reason he was shitting on you listening to Bowie.
No, I remember I asked, because I was curious, because I never really knew much about David Bowie, so I asked him and our uncle, I was like, what if, like, do you know anything about David Bowie? And they're like, oh yeah, he's a fag. I probably shouldn't have said that, but that's how they said it.
Censored. You can't say
No.
that. Austin, how dare you say that?
No, it has
Man, I fucked
context
up again,
behind it.
didn't I?
No, you're
You see, I said it in a way to where I danced around that
You
word.
danced around it.
Thomas,
You should have just said he's a British cigarette.
I heard you start saying it, and I was just like, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna, I don't want him to do it, but
Honestly,
he might. And then you did it, and I was like, oh, whatever.
I'm stupid sometimes, because sometimes I just really get in the conversation.
Well, no, it's not your fault. Don't worry about it.
Like, I
mean,
really do. I get in the conversation, like, you know what? If we do get canceled, it's alright.
It's fine. We're not.
I don't think
Anyways-
you're gonna be canceled for saying something in context.
Yeah,
It's
if
just-
anything, I will probably get canceled.
Because, like, literally, like, sometimes I just
Your
literally
dick
talk
videos
to you
floating on
guys.
the internet.
I literally talk to you
I'll
guys,
get more
and
famous
I
from that.
honestly forget sometimes that we even have a microphone.
Yeah,
fine.
I honestly just get so honest with it.
That's just how we are. We just
we're
like
just three best friends.
we just like showing our dicks to each other.
We're just three best friends who happen to jerk each other off.
And anyways, that was my introduction to Bowie, and then eventually I saw more of David Bowie whenever I went to a CD exchange, and I got the Ryko CD of Changes, and I listened to it.
And you weren't big on
I
it.
did not care for it. I think a lot of it because it was remixes at the time. Is when it had
It
like
was like
Fashion as a remix or whatever.
Oh no, it was the Fame 90, and a lot of
Yeah.
people hate that song.
And I was like, I don't care for this. And then eventually I was like, I guess I'm getting rid of this. I don't get Bowie. And I remember watching a documentary where they showed him coming to America for the first time, and they're like, this is David Bowie, and this is, whatever, the imagery of him, and they're like, women cry at the sight of David Bowie. And I remember thinking, that's insane. Like seeing these girls, they're like, I don't want to meet David Bowie. I don't know, I'm gonna cry if I see him. And the interviewer's like, why? And she's like, I don't know, I'm just gonna cry when I see him. I don't want to.
That's how you felt when you met Mark Boone Jr.
Yeah, and I cry every time I see it.
But yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna get canceled, so it's okay.
No, it's okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's get canceled. Good night.
Wait,
We could go longer, honestly, with this one.
No, we faked you out. We faked you out, audience.
Now for real. No.
Let's go a little longer.
It's a fake fade out. Like it's like Helter Skelter.
You gotta edit more.
Yeah.
I mean, but there's really no clips in this episode. This is
That's
just
fine.
It's kind of like one big song.
This one's just more or less just a full
Chillax.
episode.
Yeah, we're just.
You never know. I can make clips out of anything.
I don't think
Could.
so.
I've made clips out of almost actually every episode so far,
Except the last one.
Except the last one, because I just couldn't stand listening to the audio. It sucked.
Again, apologies for that.
We got Christmas clips.
We got
fucking Weezer clips. We got SNL clips. We got clips on our guns. We're gonna kill ourselves. It'll be great.
Tell all the people that you see, it's just me.
Follow me down.
So I think.
Wait, hold on. Have you ever heard of that cult Heaven's Gate?
Yeah, I've heard of them.
We should start a cult like that.
It's gonna be called
You know, there's a 30
Nutsgate.
Seconds to Mars cult.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of cringy though.
I think,
They're called
like-
30 Seconds to Wheeze.
Like,
That's what I said.
isn't that like a weird thing that they say like Jared Leto just picks like a random woman to like fuck all weekend?
That's scary. Like, I'm surprised no one's really pointed that out. Like, no one's like, what if they do like
There's a YouTube video about it.
What if they do like a suicide pact or something?
I don't know, but they say that like Jared Leto like for people to go to these like events, like I think they say it's like $1,500 for like a fucking ticket, and it's some random island that they're on.
I swear, like they're gonna.
It's like the Deadheads to the max.
Not even
If you could fuck Jerry Garcia.
This sounds like a combination between Heaven's Gate, Jonestown, and Scientology. I don't know. It's kind of scary, dude. It sounds like I mean, it's not as cool as Heaven's Gate, where they all kill each other in an organized way.
I've never heard of Heaven's Gate.
It's fun. Like it was.
It's not.
It's fun.
It's a cult that all killed themselves.
No, okay, you're being too negative about it.
Oh, so it is Jonestown.
No, okay, so it's based.
Are you familiar with Jonestown, Austin? What
I've
happened?
heard of them.
Okay, here's the thing. Heaven's Gate was started by a man who obviously was in the closet but couldn't like let himself be gay, so he decided to say, "Hi, I am an alien Jesus disciple, and I want you to join my club." So he got a bunch of these idiotic people to join his club, and the next thing he knew that he got too big, and so he decided, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go along with this." And then he made all the males castrate themselves because he's like, "You gotta not do those urges. They're bad for you." And then
I had an interesting one for you.
and then like fucking this comet came by called the Hale-Bopp comet, and he's like, "That's our ticket to the next life," because he thought the world was gonna end with that comet. So everybody killed themselves, and then
Except like the 40 people who were just like, I forgot about that. And
No.
all of them died, and they're like, oh. Guess I dodged a bullet.
like apparently former members after the suicide happened, they killed themselves too, but because they're like, "Take me with you," and so only like 2 or 3 people still like are alive from the cult because they wanted them to manage the website. And the website's still up to this
They're
day.
like, look, guys, we're gonna die. All the world's gonna end, but that website's gonna stay up, world ending or not.
So, I do have an odd question for you.
What?
This is gonna sound
You
so.
wanna join my cult?
No, this is gonna sound so stupid because we're on a podcast.
What?
But do you really listen to podcasts all that much, like on your own day?
I actually do, surprisingly. There are 2 or 3 I listen to.
Because I asked because I know you don't really listen to podcasts. very
I've
much.
listened to a few. I had a brief period in my life where I listened to them frequently, but I don't anymore.
So there's this one about a cult that's really interesting. You should really check it out. It's on Spotify. It's a really fucking good one, dude. I could not stop listening to this thing.
What's it called?
Well, first of all, it's really interesting. It's produced by Robert Downey Jr. and his wife.
What? No way.
And it's this podcast called The Sunshine Place, and it's about this place called Synodon.
Really?
Yeah,
And-
I know what you're talking about.
It was about this. It was a program made in the '60s for addicts.
It's about MK Ultra?
No, this was the thing in the '60s.
Mortal Kombat Ultra? No.
So, anyways, they were like the first sobriety center that actually had all walks of life, all minorities, just
To help them get better?
Yeah. And what it eventually turned into was a place where the leader said, we have so many people, we have outlived the facility we're at, so let's take this to a society. So they lived in a society.
So they created a little village, basically?
Yeah, and it kept getting bigger and bigger, and people were bringing their family. Like, they eventually decided, let's make a whole lifestyle about this.
Oh my god.
So they would bring their kids, they'd have kids there, and eventually the leader started getting like really crazy about shit. Like, eventually, when his wife, I think his wife got sick at one point, he's like, okay, nobody can smoke because I think she had cancer. And there was another one, and then whenever she died, he told everybody, he's like, okay, I don't care if any of you have been married, I don't care if you have kids, I don't care if there's your first lover, your second lover, everybody switches partners now. Everybody. He's like, I have to find a new partner, so everybody, even if you're in love with your spouse, you have to be with somebody else or you're getting kicked out. And eventually, like, it was that, and then there was another one, whenever he became diabetic, he told people, okay, you can't have sugar. I can't have sugar, you can't have sugar. And then if anybody would go, like any outsiders would go in their commune, they would be basically threatened with getting killed. And nobody could talk about what was going on in the facility.
Didn't the government shut this place down or something?
Yeah, they eventually did.
And then they like arrested the leader or something, or he died.
I think he died, but eventually, yeah, they couldn't go. Like anybody that was from that community that left, they couldn't talk about it, and the kids couldn't run away from the facility. If they did, they would get sent back, and they'd get lashings out of it.
Oh my god.
So the kids born for Synagogue didn't know any other way of life, so very few of them got out of it. And then eventually, too, the leader Chuck was like, I don't like kids, so eventually he also told a lot of them, I don't want to see your kids. If there's any more kids here, I'm going to be pissed. And eventually he said, and the kids have to work, too.
What? That sounds fucked up.
And then eventually, like he said, and the mothers can't raise their kids, they have to be raised by everybody. They're going to be treated as everyone's kids.
Oh my god. You know, this is those types of cults that sound like, you know, what happened in Waco, the Waco siege? It sounds like that shit.
It sounds insane though, right?
Yeah.
And then apparently what's weird about it is they were good friends with the Jonestown guy.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, I'm not surprised by that
Jim
shit.
Jones used to like share shit with them. Like they would trade
Oh my god.
stuff.
Isn't that weird? It's like,
Dude, it's like a 5-episode podcast. If it sounds interesting, dude, I would really check it out because, like, every time I was listening to it, I was like, I cannot stop listening.
this just sounds scary.
Dude, it really is, but you, like, really check it out. Like, it's so
We're plugging somebody else's podcast.
We really are, but it's so fucking insane because it's one of those things you're like, there's no way somebody would ever do such a thing.
You would think, but...
And it fucking happened. And every time, like, this dude was literally getting more extreme as he could get. And eventually, he just said later on, he did it just to fuck with them. He did it to see what they would be willing to do.
That's scary. Like, honestly, there are still cults to this day. Whether you kids like it or not, Kanye is a cult leader, okay? Kanye is absolutely a cult leader.
Anyways, like, seriously, listen to it. I think you'll like it.
Alright, I'll give it a go.
If you think Jonestown's interesting, you're gonna dig that one.
What about Kanye Town? What's gonna happen?
You know, it's funny though, for every time they bring up... Oh yeah, they actually had celebrities that went to Synagogue. Like, I think Jane Fonda visited, and she's like, this place is fucking weird.
Oh, really? For fucking taste?
Yeah, there were some people that went and they're like, this is just an odd style of living. And then eventually, too, for some reason, they always associate the song Hotel California with Synagogue. Because they say it's one of those places... Because
you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave.
Yeah, that's why people always associate it with it. Because nobody could technically leave this place because they would be shunned or they'd be beaten or they'd be frowned upon.
That's cults for you.
And then anybody that left too, even if they had kids born in Synagogue, they couldn't see their kids.
Oh, they had to leave them there?
Yeah. There was one guy...
This place a cult classic.
An almost cult classic.
There was one guy, I felt really bad for him. He left the place and he tried to win his kids back for like 10 fucking years. And he didn't get to see his kids, like he only saw them when they were little.
Oh, man.
And he didn't get to see them until like they're like almost their 20s. Just because the cult's like, you're not having your kids. They said if you have any influence with them, they're getting kicked out too. And we're not going to feed them, we're not going to take care of them, we're not going to do anything.
That's terrifying.
And there was like a story too where like one of the couples is like, yeah, I was in love with my husband, and the woman was like, there were women and men literally crying because they didn't want to leave their spouse because they're like, I'm in love with them, I really don't want any other way of life. And they had to do it for like 3 years.
Oh my god. In closing, everybody, if you're devoted to somebody that shouldn't have a pedestal and it's extremely mentally unhealthy, Kanye, do not follow them, okay? Don't follow Jared Leto. Don't follow people like that, okay?
We're losing the Kanye fans. We're losing the Jared Leto fans.
If you guys,
I already lost them at words I shouldn't have said earlier, but
if you honestly think that they know everything, you're a fucking idiot, okay?
An idiot?
Idiot, yeah.
Is that like an Ed and Eddie like fan base? Is that what you guys call yourselves, the idiots?
I never thought about that, actually.
That'd be great.
Oh, I guess we'll plug Sergio's shit real quick. He runs an Ed and Eddie
shit post.
Yeah, it's called Ed's Album Covers on Instagram for the 5 people who listen to this podcast.
Check it out.
Guy that made the meme, check it out. It's for you.
Oh, yeah. Case in point, I'm going to call you out right now.
I thought we weren't ever
Thank you.
I thought we weren't going to do that.
I don't know.
Oh.
Guy, you just pretend it's a meme. I figured I should.
Alright, thanks for the meme, lad.
Thank you for being the fan.
Thank you. Yeah.
Even whenever we screw up and we say some things that we're idiots for saying, thank you for listening.
You're the real MV nut.
And don't forget to beat the Beatles.
Beat the nut.
You are literally
Tesla's bust a nut.
You are literally a trooper for always going through this. Like, it's great that you like the show.
We love you. We really do.
We love you.
Oh, god damn it! Now I want to say it and I can't.
No. Watch Bill and Ted 2 for context.
Good night, everybody.